You can make my account as one of the co-hosts. I'll help you to do that. If you cannot do that, please. My account is Aisha and Abdullah. You can give me the make me co-host. I'll do it for you. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, can everyone hear me now? You can just drop your response in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. That's nice. Someone has responded. So let me share my screen again while I continue with my presentation.
You can go ahead. We can hear you. It's quite clear now.
Yes. So, sorry. Let me share my screen quickly. Okay, so when I ask questions, you can just drop your answers in the chat room. So why the co-host alone respond, so I can know if you're still with me. I'm sharing my screen now, so I can't see the Zoom view. Are you with me, please, host?
Your screen is up. Your screen is up.
Yeah. So I would need someone to keep telling. When I ask, are you with me? I'll need the host to respond so that I'll be sure that I'm still connected. So So, Hauzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Now, once again, I'm glad to be here in the midst of my Muslim brothers and sisters, the future of tomorrow, and the leaders of today, actually. And like I said earlier, we're presenting on the topic bullying among children. And again, my name is Saidat Aditayo. I had someone saying Adebayo. My name is Saidat Aditayo. I was introduced as a psychologist. I'm not a psychologist. I am a PhD student in philosophy, not psychology. But then I evolved in a bit of child psychology, but I'm not a psychologist by profession. So I am a researcher by profession. So back to our discourse for today. I'll be discussing child bullying and overview. What does it mean for a child to be bullied? We discuss the reports, the statistics we have of the occurrence of bullying in children, discuss forms of bullying, the effects, signs that a child might be experiencing bullying, signs that a child is being bullied, and a host of that. You have that on your screen. So, what comes to your mind when you hear the term bullying? Like, so XYZ is bullying ABC. What comes to your mind? Eating, pushing, beating, maybe threatening or spreading some rumors about the person, or name calling, and a host of others. You can see that we can list several ways in which bullying can occur by eating. But I eat my younger sister, maybe when she offends me. Am I bullying her? Or I beat my younger brother when he passes the boundary. Am I bullying him? So what is bullying precisely? Is all forms of beating bullying, all forms of threatening, or are they bullying? Can we categorize everything as bullying? So let's look at what bullying is precisely. Bullying, according to the bullyingstatistics.org, is basically a form of intimidation or domination towards someone perceived as being weaker. Am I still connected? Am I connected?
Yes, we can hear you. Can go ahead. We're with you.
All right. So bullying is basically a form of intimidation. By intimidation, it means you frighten the person, you make the person feel less of himself to exact that I am better than you, I am bigger than you, I am older than you, I am this, I am that. So by bullying, you try to exhibit domination. Domination means to take charge of another person, to take control of that person, maybe in terms of the person's lives or decision, in a way just to establish, for the bully to establish him or herself as being superior and as the victim as being weaker. Bullying is a way of getting what one wants through some sort of coercion or force. You desire something, but instead of asking for it from the owner or the person in whose possession that thing is, you try to get it through some sort of coercion or force or fear. Maybe somebody has a phone and then you try to bully the person into releasing the possession. It is also employed in establishing some sort of perceived superiority over another person. I explained that earlier. According to UNICEF, a bully intends to cause pain, either through physical harm or hurtful words and behavior, and does so repeatedly. Again, a bully intends to cause harm, either through physical harm or hurtful words and behavior, and does so repeatedly. You note the key word that I made them bold. I tried to emphasize them. The intention. The intent of bullying is to cause pain. That is the intent. It is not to correct. It is not to set the person right. It is not to make any amendments or anything. It is to cause pain, to inflict pain on the victim. And then the next word there is repetition. It is done repeatedly. It's not a one-off experience. So it might be bullying might involve eating, beating, threatening, but it is done repeatedly towards that victim. The bully continues to threaten repeatedly, continues to beat the victim until fear is registered in the mind of the victim. So the other word I want you to understand, for a case of bullying to be established, is the expression of power. Bullying is more of expression of power. When you are trying to correct your younger ones, that's not necessarily expression of power. Is because you feel the need to set them straight. You know better. So you feel, okay, I'm 9 years old, my younger sister is 6 years old, and then she spilled water on the floor and I corrected her. Come on, be careful. That is not the case of bullying. But when it becomes expression of power, after I'm older than you, I can slap your face, I can knock your head, I can hit your head on the wall, then that is becoming a case of bullying. Also note that in a case of bullying, we have three. A child can be exhibited in either of three ways. Is that the child is the victim of the bullying, is the one being bullied, or the child, him or herself, is the bully, the one inflicting pain on another person, or the child is a bystander. He's not the one being bullied. He's not the one bullying anybody. He doesn't bully, and he doesn't allow anybody to bully him or her. But then he's always watching and saying nothing when a case of bullying is happening. So today we'll be looking at the child across the three levels: a child as a victim of bullying, a child as a bully, and a child as a bystander in the case of bullying. Am I still connected? Am I connected, co-hosts?
Yes, you are.
Be sure I'm not being disconnected already. And
You are. You are. I can still hear you loud and clear.
all right, thank you so much. So, statistical reports on bullying. How often does bullying happen? Is it something that happens once in 10 years? Is it something that hardly ever happens, maybe once in a century or once in a millennium, or something that happens almost every day? So, according to a research by the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, the report says that close to half of all children will experience school bullying at some point while they are at primary or secondary level. What does this mean? This means that for every two children, one of them at least will experience bullying either at primary level or secondary level. So if you have a class of 10 pupils or 10 children, chances are that 5 of those 10 children will experience bullying in various forms, either at primary or secondary level. So it's almost inevitable for 1 out of every 2 children not to experience bullying. That's how much it occurs. The report says that at least 10% of children are bullied regularly. 10%, it means in a class of 100 students, the minimum at least is that 10 of them get bullied. In a class of 100 students, at least 10 of them are victims of bullying. So the statistic went further to show that, okay, who are those who experience bullying most? Who are those who get bullied most? So this list is inexhaustive. We have a whole lot of people get bullied, but top of the list is the most vulnerable children are often children from marginalized communities. What do we call marginalized communities? Communities that are less recognized, communities that are not given any cognizance or are being ridiculed, or people think like, okay, let's say maybe you are from Northeast, war zone, something like Maiduguri, and so a child who is from Boko Haram communities that are suffering from attacks on Boko Haram may be prone to marginalization in the midst of children who are not from that community. Low income earning family, children from low income earning family, children whose family are not so rich. Supposing, okay, a parent is struggling to give the best to their children, they are not so rich, but then they're struggling to give them the best of education. And so they enroll their child in a standard school, a school for the wealthy, in quotes now. And they are just average level. Chances are that the child will get bullied amongst children of the other class because it doesn't belong to that social class. Also, children with disabilities, maybe children with one eye, children with visual impairment, that's a blind child, children with maybe deaf or dumb, or a one-handed person, or a cripple. Children with disabilities often get bullied, or maybe he's a stammerer, and then when he tries to talk, he stutters. You see the colleagues making jest of him. So children with disabilities tend to get bullied. Then children with different gender identities. These may not be so rampant in our own society here, but if you find yourself in some other societies, say the West, for instance, you may have to question your gender identity. When you start seeing people who make you be, okay, you are a boy because they already said you are a boy. Oh, so you can't even choose a gender? Must you be a boy because they already said you are a boy? You know, when you begin to question the child's gender identity and a whole lot of manifestation, or a girl who finds herself mostly in the midst of guys, maybe the class where she is, maybe about 80% are guys, and then just about 20% are girls. She may get bullied for being different among them, or a boy child who finds himself in a girl-dominated class. He may also get bullied because of his different gender identity. Also, children who get bullied are migrants and refugee children. So, for instance, Boko Haram communities, they try to seek refuge in other parts of the country. So if supposing a family who used to live in, let's say, Maiduguri, and then Boko Haram attacked their community, they had to flee, and then they sought refuge in another community, maybe in Maiduguri state or outside the states. Chances are that children of those refugees may be bullied by the resident children. They may suffer from stigmatization, they may suffer from discrimination and all of that. So migrant children too, children of migrants, maybe you're Nigerian and your daddy relocated to Canada, to the US, chances are that such children may experience bullying. Children with different or unpopular religious orientations. Children with different or popular religious orientations. Supposing your father is a sheikh and you have been very groomed and versatile when it comes to the knowledge of the deen, and you find yourself in a class of students who are just from normal Muslim homes or even from different religious backgrounds, and they get there, you say, I don't shave. In my house, we don't see from opposite sex. Such, hello there is this interference already again. Please help look into that. So children of different or unpopular religious orientations, please can the host help attend to the interference, please? So children with different or unpopular religious orientations tend to be bullied too. By virtue of the fact that he has been grouped a different way from them, they may bully. On the flip side too, perhaps you're from a average Muslim home and then the regular thing to do is to observe your salah. At times you don't even observe it regularly, and then you find yourself in a school whereby they are instituting the Sharia, the Sunnah, and the Sunnah of the Prophets. Such a child may be vulnerable to bullying because he has a different lifestyle. Perhaps the mother wears makeup for her, she wears skimpy dresses, and then she finds herself in the midst of children who are trained to wear the complete hijab. Chances are that such a child may get bullied eventually. So children with distinct learning patterns, children who do not learn like other children, they are learning, but maybe they are slow learners, they don't grab it fast, and they find themselves in a class of A topper students, A students who learn almost at the flip of a tap, just at the tap, you get what the teacher says. Such a child may get bullied. Even at times, the bullying may come from the teacher herself in the guise of trying to encourage and motivate. They may tell the other students, tell him shame, shame, tell him who. And then eventually, maybe after class, the other students take that as an opportunity to bully the slow learner or the distinct learner. So children with different learning patterns are somehow vulnerable to bullying too. Then children with unique looks. In this era of, oh, cute baby, oh, your baby is so cute, oh. There are some children who, by virtue of their configuration, their physiological makeup, they may not fit into our standard of beauty. Maybe we think beauty is by being fair. So someone who is as dark as I am or darker may be very vulnerable to bullying because she's different from the class of students or class of children where he finds himself. Maybe he's dark and they're all fair, and then they have long hairs, long straight hair, and she has a coily, hard, unattractive hair and all of that. Such children may be vulnerable to bullying. So, forms of bullying. What are the forms in which bullying can be exhibited? We have the physical domination, stroke intimidation. This is often common in boys. You try to beat him up physically, you challenge, the physical ways of exerting oneself. You beat, you eat, you threaten, you punish, and all of that. So verbal bullying, this is often common in girls they abuse the hell out of Bosheri, Obi Wesheri, but you're fine, we say, we come here, look at his eyes, very, very unattractive, and all of that. Verbal bullying until the girl begins to see herself as not being worthy of being the midst of people, of socializing, or seeing herself as less of a human. Verbal bullying, this is often common in girls, although boys exhibit it too. We have the emotional bullying. This is common both in boys and girls. I think girls do that a lot. So if there's a girl, okay, in a class of children who are at puberty already, and there's one person who is not growing to puberty fast, maybe they're within the ages of 14 to 15, and then the other girls are already showing some signs of puberty, they're growing the breast and all of that. And there's this girl whose breast is not even making a difference, whose waist is not even getting thinner, and all of that. Such a child is susceptible to bullying. And then this bullying can be exhibited in times, okay, when the girls are talking and she tries to interfere, shut up, who's your mate here? Because she's a bit smaller or something, and they can continue to abuse her emotionally. Look at your breast. Those of them in secondary school, you see girls that they start chesting out, just trying to feel among and fall into that class they think they should fall into. And emotional bullying comes in various forms too. Maybe the child finds him or herself being a class of intelligent students, and she's just the one always asking one question repeatedly, and then they have to keep explaining, and she will still ask that question the next day. These students may begin to abuse her emotionally. Shut up! They're not talking to you. Or maybe they're solving questions and they should come. Look, let me see. Hey, who will not understand? Move back. Abusing her emotionally. We have a sexual bullying or sexual abuse, and this is common across all genders. It's common across all gender and ages. You see, maybe at puberty, and then there's this girl. Those days when you're secondary school, you hear things like they will lay a girl in a corner and then they won't exactly have sexual copulation with her, but yet it's like one finger, inserting pen in her vagina, pulling her breast. We also have girls doing that to some boys too then. So, trying to abuse them sexually, abusing their sexuality. You see them asking, put off your pants, let me see. How long is your penis, or all of that? So there's this emotional sexual bullying too that children exhibit among themselves. Other one, which is becoming more rampant by the passage of time, is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying, bullying amongst children through the use of cyber approaches, through chat rooms, through Facebook, through WhatsApp. Maybe a child who is exposed to pornography, maybe due to negligence on the part of the parents, or the child is just exhibiting some juvenile delinquency, and then begins to abuse the sensibilities of other children by sending those videos and sharing it with them and threatening them not to tell anybody. If you tell anybody, you see what I will do to you. Or a child who watches porn videos, soft porn videos. By soft porn video, I mean their own videos, but mostly what they do there is the theme is always around boyfriend and their friend being kissing and hugging and all of that. And then they try to share it with other kids, try to bully them. This can also be exhibited even through text messages or WhatsApp messages. Maybe the girl is a boy throwing advances at a girl and she's saying no, and then you keep chatting her up on WhatsApp. In the era of online classes, keep chatting her up on WhatsApp and then sending her threatening messages and all of that. We have cyberbullying amongst children. So let's talk about the effects of bullying. The effects of all this bullying, all forms of bullying, that first, it could have a long, at times short-term damages on the child's self-esteem. Take, for instance, a child who is not so good with academic performance, and then it belongs to a class of students who keep bullying and abusing her due to the low academic performance. That child may end up seeing him or herself as somebody who can never do well in the academics. You see such children, by the time they get to SS3 or so, you say, mommy, mommy, please, I just want to learn a vocation, because he or she has come to believe that he cannot do well in the academic again because of the frequent and repeated abuse of his or her sensibilities. It could form a form of sexual bullying. It's him and sex, baby, you're a kid, you don't have sex yet, and so the child will want to go ahead to do it. The urge to, or feeling less of herself, like, okay, I want to grow into that age, and this may have long-term effects on the child's self-esteem. Children who are bullied can be stunted emotionally and socially. So a child who continues to experience bullying in whatever form will get emotionally drained easily. We get sad because the brain will continue to play those scenes repeatedly to him. So even when he's not experiencing bullying at that time, maybe he's at home or at other safe places, the videos, the recordings of what has happened, the brain is like a video recorder. It continues to replay those words, those beatings, those experiences to the child, and it affects the child. It most likely affect the child emotionally, exhibiting signs of melancholy, signs of withdrawal, and that. Then it will affect the child socially. The fear of, oh, I don't want to meet people. Maybe they may also abuse me. I don't want to go to the list of people. Maybe they will also see that I'm a dullard. Maybe they also tell me I'm not beautiful. Maybe they will tell me I'm not attractive. Maybe, you know, the fear of mixing with people because of the fear of what to get due to what he's getting from certain people. Also, bullying can affect a child's academic and extracurricular performance. We've seen cases of brilliant students who are not into the world of sexual freedom, and then the classmates start bullying him on the basis of until the child even lost focus and the academic performance begin to drop. So it can affect both the academic performance and the extracurricular performance. Extracurricular in the sense of maybe the child is learning a vocation, the child is going through tahfiz, or is learning Islamic knowledge, all of that. If the child keeps experiencing bullying, supposing, okay, a child is born by a sheikh and then attends a school of average Muslim children. They keep telling you now, you will not become a doctor, you become an afa. They're not going to turn you to an afa, you become a lentil afa, all of that. It may affect the child's performance at madrasa. It may begin to lose interest in madrasa because of the fear of, oh, I won't become what my other classmates will become. Bullying can also lead to anxiety disorder and childhood depression. There's something called childhood depression. There's also something called anxiety disorder. They are forms of psychological mental health challenges. So consistent and repeated bullying can lead to a child having anxiety disorder, getting scared easily, getting frightened. Okay, like getting scared of eventualities. Oh, what will happen if I go out? Oh, if I go to school today, what will happen? If I don't go, what will happen? Oh, but no, getting scared of what will happen. Anxiety disorder. Oh, teacher is calling me, or maybe they reported me, or maybe, oh, mommy says she wants to see me tonight, or maybe mommy knows I'm a dullard. You know, getting scared easily, and it may lead to childhood depression, repeated thinking, and then chronic or benign depression. So, in extreme cases, it can lead to suicidal ideation and attempts. In cases whereby we have racial discrimination, gender discrimination, religious discrimination, we've heard of cases of suicide attempts. And even in cases where the child has not committed the suicide, in interacting with them, a colleague of mine once shared his experience at child psychiatric clinic, and then they told the children, I think about 30 children, to write what they desire most now. And one of them wrote a hug. So he just wants somebody to hug him because he was almost giving up, was losing hope already. There was a time around 2016, I used to visit a Buster home in Ilorin, and then we engaged the children there. You listen to their story, you realize a whole lot of them do not mind giving up already. They just want to die. They're fed up, and these are children within the ages of 18 to 12. So, am I still connected, please? Hello, am I connected?
No, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, thank you so much. So, indications that a child might be experiencing bullying. Note, I said a child might be experiencing bullying because a child might exhibit some of these indications and it might not be bullying. So you might want to be careful not to jump into conclusion. But when you begin to see a host of these signs coupled together, you might want to consider if there is no one bullying your child, or if you as a child, you're not experiencing bullying. So when a child becomes withdrawn, always wanting to be alone, locking herself up in the room, Abdul Samad, come to the living room now, come to the sitting room. Oh, the waba and no, I want to be alone. Always wanting to be alone. You might want to inquire into why this child is withdrawn. Or in class, he just pitch his tent somewhere in one corner, wanting to sit alone. So you might want to inquire what is happening to such a child. showing fear when it's time to go to school or madrasa. If you have a child from the age of 6 upward and is still scared of going to school, we understand toddlers being scared of going to school because they are still it's a phase of leaving your parents and then going into the hands of caregivers or someone else. So, but when you begin to grow into ages like 6, 7, and your child is still scared of going to school, you might want to inquire what is happening in school. Or is scared of going to madrasa, always running away, trying not to attend, might want to inquire what is happening at madrasa. When there's a sudden decline in your child's school performance, maybe your child used to get 70, 80, and then suddenly starts getting 40, 30, you might want to inquire what is happening. We have cases of bullying of excellent students, when in a class of like 10, and there's this excellent student, excellent pupil, always topping the class, like getting 99, just sparing 1 point for the teacher. We've seen cases whereby the other students will gang up and bully the child. When you community exam, you see what I'll do to you. They bully the child until the child tries to, okay, don't let me score high grades so that I will save with my classmates. So if there's a sudden decline in your child's performance, you might want to visit the school and inquire what is happening to your child. Speaking of another child with fear, your child keeps coming in, mommy, that being boy in our class, hey, she's wicked. You might want to inquire why she thinks Bimbo is wicked and why she's so convinced that Bimbo is powerful, that Bimbo can do this, that Bimbo can do that. It might be that Bimbo is bullying your child or bullying someone else in the presence of your child. It may be senior. Your child is in the boarding house and they come home telling you, senior told you that is necessary. You see the way she will slap. She may not be slapping the child yet, but if your child is a bystander, if you as a child you're experiencing that, you might want to call the attention of your parents to it. There's somebody in your school that you fear a lot. You don't even want to cross a line. You don't want to step on her toes. You don't want to do anything to him because he's going to deal with you. These are signs that your child may be experiencing bullying or seeing someone experiencing bullying. Also, when there's a noticeable decline in how your child sees him or herself, this is often common among children who are being sexually bullied. So adolescent, and this is common among adolescent children, where some people will grow into puberty faster than others. If you see your child now, not concerned about his dressing again, not because he feels I'm not worthy of this class, or getting too concerned too. So concerned. No, mommy, I can't go to school without hanging my clothes. No, and there's no power supply, and your child insists, never. I will not go to school. I cannot get to hang on my clothes. It may be that. It may be that.
I just said that. Please, can you write up now?
Oh, wow. So, maybe I'll have to share my slides with the editor then. So, there are some other indications that a child is a bully. When your child views violence positively, if you have a child who keeps telling you that, don't worry, I'll beat the hell out of him. This may be a sign that your child is a bully. When she's aggressive towards adults, when she shows less sympathy to people, and then always trying to dominate others, this could be a sign that this child is a bully. So how do I prevent my child from bullying? You educate your children about it. You talk to them openly and frequently about it. And then it is good if you can share your own experience of teenage, your experience of adolescents with your children. It makes them feel, okay, mommy can relate with our experience, daddy can relate with our experience. So, and it will try to be a positive model for them, help them build their confidence and all of that, and then be part of their online experience. I want to emphasize this in the age of online classes. Be part of their online experiences. Familiarize yourself with the platforms that the children use, but don't be a CID agent. You don't have to start policing them and then trying to investigate, and then they start feeling unsafe and insecure that mommy will soon come and start spying into my WhatsApp now. So you just familiarize and then explain the risk and the connection between the online and offline world to them. What to do if a child gets bullied? As a child, when you get bullied, you report to necessary authorities, your parents, the school authority, and then you practice being assertive. You have to learn to speak up for yourself. Speak up for yourself. Don't get scared. You have your parents, you have the teachers to stand by you always. And as a parent of a child who gets bullied, You might want to seek help of a counselor or a social worker when necessary. So how do I stop my child from being bullying? You communicate with them. You try to encourage your child to put yourself in their shoes. So if you have a child who is a bully, or you are a bully yourself, you think from what Andy said, you think you are a bully, you might just try to put yourself in other people's shoes. Okay, if I was the one that was being beaten, how would I feel? If I was the one that was being abused, how will I feel? So you know that this is how they also feel, and it will be right for you to make them feel bad. So, and as a parent, if you have a child who is a bully, please examine yourself. Perhaps you are being too aggressive, and then he or she is learning aggression and venting of angers from you. Lastly, the Convention on the Rights of the Child states that all children have the right to an education and protection from all forms of also a part of physical and mental violence, and every child has a right to be protected from it. Thank you for your time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes. Yeah, please. You see what can I say? I welcome the representative of the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs.
I welcome the representative of Honorable Minister of Affairs
Of Police Affairs
of Police Affairs
to come and present
to come and present
his keynote, his goodwill message.
his goodwill message.
Thank you, and I welcome you,
Thank you, and I welcome you.
Mr.
The representative of the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs can go ahead and make his goodwill message, please. Are you there, sir? Or ma, the representative of the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs? Are you there? Ajia Fatima Titilayo, you have been raising up your hand since. Can you please unmute yourself and make your comment so that we can, or you can lower your hand. You have been raising up your hand since, please. Ajia Fatima Titilayo, do you have a comment to make? You have been raising up your hand. Kindly use the chat box to make your comment while you lower your hand back.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Is Ajia around? If she around, please, let's have you on board, please.
Yeah, my skill is very.
Ajia Okpere Rashida, you can go ahead, please.
Okay. Sorry. Not sure. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So it's indeed an honor to be here, and inshallah, I am going to quickly brush through. I understand that the time is fast spent, and I needed to do this in a very short time. So, inshallah, I am going to be talking about child trafficking. And of course, we know that child trafficking is among the many menaces affecting children now. It's one of the things, it's one of the key aspects of child abuse, where children are being violated, children's rights are being violated, and all of that. In West and Central Africa, and Nigeria is part of these countries. Nigeria is a transit and a destination. So it means that is the place where children are being taken from to be trafficked in other parts of Africa and Europe, and then again children are brought to the country to Nigeria. So, and most of these children are gotten from rural areas. So why do we need to talk about this? It is very important that we keep talking about this because a lot of people need education about child trafficking, because somehow it can be happening around you and we cannot afford to be bystanders. We cannot afford not to raise an alarm and not to talk about it. So to put things in context, I'm quickly going to define what child trafficking is, just so we know, okay, this is what it means. And then we're also going to talk about the talk about it I'm going to break it down to the smallest of the smallest form, so that we can all understand, because I understand that there are mothers and there are also children here. So it's child trafficking is like a recruitment, transportation, transfer, harboring, or receipt of person by means of threats or use of force or other forms of coercion, abduction, fraud, or receiving payment or benefits to achieve consent of a person, having control over another person for the purpose of exploitation. Okay, so I know that all that Oyinbo is somehow small, but like, I'm just going to break it down. So most times, what we're just trying to say here is that child trafficking most times is like, do you know when you go to Malam and then you go and buy biscuits? So when you buy biscuits, the biscuit automatically becomes yours, right? Yes, those are the kind of things that happen in child trafficking. So substitute that biscuit for, I hope we're following. Are we together? Please, if we are together, please type yes in the comment section, please. All right. Okay.
Shike. Salamu alaikum. Salamu alaikum. Salamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Salam. I'm about to start speaking. Hello.
Go ahead.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. Please, can you help me to display the goodwill message? I had already sent it in advance, so I can just read it. Can you help me? Hello. Hello. Hello.
We are trying to delay it.
I say, can you display it? Because I already sent the goodwill message. Okay, assalamu alaikum.
I will display it now.
Okay, please. Okay, thank you. Please display so that at least if some cannot understand what I was saying, at least they can see from there. All protocols observed. Assalamu alaikum. This goodwill message from the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs as the special guest of honor and prevention of child abuse ambassador at the World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse, organized by the Youth Muslim Association, TYMA. Today, Saturday, 21st November 2020. In Islam, a child abuse is a wrongdoing or injustice, which in Arabic is known as dhulm, which is an illegal or forbidden act known as haram, and which causes a bad or unpleasant happening called evil or shar in Arabic. In this connection, a problem of an evil is checked, prevented, or solved through being a sincere or trustworthy believer, not behavior, please. It was taboo error, which may move in a sincere, decent, love relationship called Nasiyah Mawadda. It is in this connection that there's a human being who, in being a Christian, and other Muslim and non-Muslim, such as a Christian, has either a whole or a portion of his own common similar Islamic religion or culture or leadership, being right, good, or being of a moment. So to a person to be good, we should expect not only Muslims who are good, even non-Muslims can be good. We have the proof from the Quran. It is in this connection that there is a comparative religious education involving common or similar and right or good values involved in or causing unity and diversity and harmony or peace. That's what Islam stands for among teachings of the Quran, which contain the following related to the aforementioned. This is based on a monotheistic oneness or unity, tawheed or wahada, and diversity. This is referred to in the Quran, 2nd chapter, verse 62, this Surah Al-Baqarah, where it confirms the possibility of having a trustworthy believer who may be a Muslim in believing in Quran, or he may not even be a Muslim. He can be a Christian or even a Jew. But the qualification that what is he doing? Is he good or right? And when he does that, there will be reward for it. It is there in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah. And also one of the way of having unity for us to solve a problem like child abuse is to have a common goal or common term, as indicated in chapter 3 in Surah Al-Imran. And also having similar values, like in case of a woman, having similar rights with men, as shown in chapter 2, Surah Al-Baqarah. Then also, you may not get something 100%, but you may get a portion of even a person or during his time when he's good. That's why Quran says that we should not forget our portion in this world. And also, for this country to be great, we have to unite with Muslim and non-Muslim, because love is among human beings, and we can even find among the Christians who love us. And then, this child abuse need leadership from us, the parents, and even the children will be the future leaders. And that one can come through an Islamic exemplary leadership, sabr, patience, which is indicated in chapter 32, that is Surah Al-Sajdah. In this connection, your enlightenment sensitization program with the topic of discussion titled Every Child Deserves Our Protection is coming at a time the federal government has re-established the Ministry of Police Affairs to strengthen the internal security and solve the problem of the present insecurity challenges, including the kidnapping of the children and their parents. It is therefore important that all hands must be on deck to propose solutions to the neglect and abuse of the Nigerian child. Thank you for your cooperation. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Hello, Honorable Representative of Commissioner for Women Affairs. Please come on board, please. Thank you, ma'am. We appreciate you. Honorable Minister for Women Affairs. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Please come on board. Representative, if you are there, you can raise up your hand so that we'll unmute you.
Hello. Speech is alele. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ confirm bò ní ó sọ̀rọ̀ kan sìn.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, what to. Chat. Okay, let's see.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. Please, can the representative, thank you very much, representative of the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs. We appreciate you very much. Also, can the representative of the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and the representative of the Honorable Minister of Information, can we please raise our hands in the group so that just identify yourself if we can see you. Thank you very much. Also, the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Lagos State, please can you also identify yourself in the group so that we can unmute you for your keynote addresses. Please, I am still trying to check for the representatives of the ministers and the honorable commissioners in our midst. I have not gotten them, I've not seen them raise up their hand in the group. So, Honorable Minister of Police Affairs, okay with you, sir. Is that my answer? Thank you very much, Representative of the Honorable Minister of Police. While we are with the representatives of the other honorable ministers and the honorable commissioners identify themselves in the group, let me welcome Barrister Goni Aliu. Barrister Goni Aliu. Please, can you identify yourself? Goni and you.
Hello, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
I have that we have representatives of about 4 commissioners and 3 other ministers here online in our midst. However, we are trying our best to reach out to them so that we can get them for their keynote, for their goodwill messages, and we can continue with the program. While I await that, I want to remind us that we are live online on the World Day for the Prevention of Child Abuse by the Young Muslim Association Nigeria. Please, if you are here on Zoom with us and you don't have a role, for instance, you are not representing an honorable minister, or you are a participant from a particular ministry or a particular from a particular zone, please, can we move to YouTube and participate from YouTube? So the lesser the number we have, the easier it is for us to identify those we are expecting to come on board. So please, that's an appeal that we all participate from YouTube, except we have a role in Zoom. Those who have roles have letters with them to participate and also to deliver a speech. Thank you very much. I would call on the representative.
You want the speech in that? Then you tura musu.
Please, I cannot see the representatives of the honorable ministers. Please, representatives of the honorable ministers, can you leave us a message in the chat box? Representatives of the honorable ministers, can you leave us a message in the chat box? Representatives of the honorable commissioners, please, can you leave us a message in the chat box?
Okay, I have the following quotes for you. And I have the following quotes for you.
I have the following quote for you. 1. Stop rapists, report rape. 2. Children hawking is child abuse. Stop it. 3. Child abuse is not something to be kept secret. When you see something, say something. 4. A scar is a scar and can remain there forever, either it is physical or verbal. 5. Stop bullying, make community safer. 6. Stop comparing children. Children are distinct. just like the colors of rainbow. 7. We are all like a work of art. We are not perfect, but beautiful, appreciated, and cherished, and highly prized.
So, Mrs. Z.O. Ibrahim, please, can you unmute yourself? We are waiting you. Mrs. Z.O. Ibrahim. Mrs. Z.O. Ibrahim, please, can you unmute yourself?
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here representing the Honorable Commissioner in the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Cooperatives, Honorable Dr. Mrs. Lola Akonde, to deliver a goodwill message today at the Enlightenment webinar in commemoration of World Day for Prevention of Child Abuse, today, 21st November 2020. I read, it is my utmost delight to be part of this program today. I consider this to be a privilege that is not to be taken lightly, because the children represent the future of our nation, and it is a collective responsibility to ensure that we preserve that future and ensure that it is bright. Our children represent a very important part of our lives that should be nurtured and preserved to ensure they grow up to be responsible adults and will be assets to both their parents and nation at large. For that to become a reality, we must ensure that we provide the right atmosphere that will encourage our children to be the best they can be, while also giving guidance and direction to steer them to the right path and recognizing and leveraging on their strengths. It is also important to recognize that the children have a right to live, a right to a good education, a right to good shelter, adequate nutrition, and a good environment to thrive. Anything short of all this constitutes abuse of the rights of children. At this stage of their lives, they are dependent on their families and the community at large to at least provide the basics that will set the stage for adulthood, when they can then fend for themselves. She also says that the children from an early age must be taught skills that will enable them to cope with the rigors of daily life. Adults must never to abuse the trust that children have in them and should live up to the expectation placed on them by both society and these children, so that life will all be meaningful to them. The future of any nation is based on the premium placed on the children and youths that inhabit that nation. Parents and guardians play a crucial role in molding children to become good people and inculcate in them the right values. We must all then join hands together to ensure a bright future for them. It is also important that we do not deny the children their fundamental rights and opportunities. Otherwise, we as a nation will also be caught in disaster. Parents must also have the number of children they can afford to take care of, so that they are not breeding miscreants. In the same vein, parents themselves must show love and concern to their children and care for them properly, and not subject them to unhealthy living conditions that will affect their outlook on life and force them to become harmful to the community or to be bullied, as rightly explained by one of the earlier presenters. It is my hope that we as parents and the community at large will play our roles well so that our nation will be able to utilize effectively its vast human resource to achieve much. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan, the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Lagos.
Thank you, sir.
Mrs. Lola Akonde. Thank you very much, ma'am. Also, Mr. Sonny Adewale, please can you unmute yourself? Mr. Sonny Adewale. Please, Ms. Agia Mariam Salvan online. Please, can you leave me a message in the chat box so I can unmute you? Representative of the Honorable Minister of Information, please, can you raise your hand in the chat box so I can unmute you? Representative of the Honorable Minister of Science and Tech, Honorable Minister of State for Science and Tech, please can you raise up your hand in the chat box so I can unmute you? Mr. Sulaiman Ogumuyiwa, a counselor with the Lagos, a deputy director with the Lagos State Ministry of Education, the Department of Quality Education, has just apologized that he has to leave now because he has an event to catch up with as well right now. Please, can those representatives raise up their hands so I can unmute them? And those representatives of the Honorable Ministers, can you leave me a message in the chat box? Please, I can't find your hand. Okay, this one. Please, representative of somebody using FMC Abuja. Please, can you come online? Can you unmute FMIC Abuja?
Yes, he has been unmuted.
Please, can you unmute
Federal Minister of Information, I think so. He has been unmuted. He can speak now.
The representative of the Honorable Minister of Information and Communication, can you unmute yourself?
Information and culture.
Okay. Please. Representative of the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, please can you unmute yourself? We are with you, ma. Can you keep your video open, ma?
Okay.
Of the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture. We are waiting to come up, ma. We can't hear you, ma.
I'm speaking. Can you hear me now?
Yes, you can go ahead, ma. You can go ahead. We can hear you.
We can't see you right now. We cannot hear you.
Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
We can see you now. Yes, ma, we can see you now, ma.
I wish. Okay, I wish on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, to welcome this advocacy and on behalf of Nigerian children, and to say that we will continue to fight it to ensure that this concern results in concrete changes in our actions, individually and collectively. Are you hearing me?
Yes, you are on. You are on. You continue.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
continue.
All right. So we all try on our part to ensure that these actions, the fight results in concrete changes in our actions and in the psyche of the people. And there is need for us to create a culture of prevention around the world so that children will have the best of life. Moreover, I would like also to say that the issue of child abuse is too complex to be addressed from a single perspective. No one group has the expertise to address all the issues of children who have been abused. Therefore, I wish, on behalf of the Honorable Minister, to urge for an intersectoral integration, intersectoral integrated approach, as well as joint actions and networks all over Nigeria and the world. I would like to also say that child abuse is not just physical violence directed at a child. It is any form of maltreatment by an adult which is violent or threatening for the child as a result of his or her vulnerability. There are many other, I thank the other speaker, the presenter of the bullying, the speaker that did the bullying presentation. It was so fine. And I also want to add that there are many other types of child abuse, such as physical abuse. The one that is most rampant is the physical abuse, where we have all forms of physical abuse. A child can be pushed on the ground, a child can be poured hot water on. We have many reports on the media how children are maltreated on a daily basis. Some mothers, even mothers, use hot oil on children. They slap children. Some teachers beat children to the extent that some of them are killed. So these are the areas that we should please focus on, because these are the very, very rampant in our society. It is not just for us, it is not only perpetrated by outsiders, but by even parents themselves. Emotional and psychological abuse also affect children in diverse ways. When you curse a child, when you lack positive attention for a child, when you ignore the child's need. A child can come to a mother or father or the guardian to say, please, mommy, I need a biro. I don't have biro. You say the one I bought for you yesterday, where is it? You slap the child and push him or
The representative of the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, your network is not functioning well. We can't hear you anymore. Please, I have left messages for everybody in the chat box. Please, can we check the chat box for the message? If you are representing any of the Honorable Ministers or any of the Honorable Commissioners, please kindly leave me a message in the chat box. Can I know if I have any of our discussants also online? We are waiting Hajia Mariam Sauban and Dr. and Barrister Mrs. Gonia Aliu. Please kindly leave me a message in the chat box if you are there.
Am I on board, sir?
Okay.
Am I still on board?
Back. You are on board. You are back.
You are
okay.
Welcome back,
okay. So anyway, hello. So I try to, I get. Hello.
Go ahead. We can hear you, ma. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
all
we
right.
can
Just
hear
to
you.
conclude the story.
Ahead,
okay. Okay, good. So these children, I took them to the office, and then, they started, they became my friends and all that until I was able to get to their house. I didn't send them out. I didn't just, berate them and ask them to go. I assisted them. And up till now, they are twins, a boy and a girl. One of them, is a very big time fashion designer, and the boy is in the university. Just to say how I started, they started coming to my house on holidays, and I didn't know them. They were Yorubas. I didn't know them from Adams until I now went to their house, saw their father. They said their mother was late and all that. So what I'm trying to say is that when we help children, there is a psychological, we invest in them psychologically. We don't push them out. We don't molest them. We allow parents to do, we urge parents to do the best they can for the children. There should be also increased attention and efficient protection skills and prevention measures in families, local, state, national, and international levels. We should create preventive measures against child abuse. In recent time, we've heard about sexual abuse on children, on girl children and women. It is rampant. We should just begin a coordinated attack against this problem because it is too much. Are you hearing me? And moreover, we also have this culture of silence. The culture of silence has really created lots of problem in this area, in this action against children. When a child is abused, especially when a child is sexually abused, parents tend to cover the child up. They tend to hide so that, because of stigmatization or something like that. So I want to encourage parents, whenever a child reports abuse, please, bring that, get the child out to be helped immediately. Do not hide it. Nobody has you should bring out the child. Let people know, let people assist the child to come out from that problem. Because when you keep silent, the perpetrators of this abuse will continue to abuse the children, especially pedophiles, especially those who are very close to the children. Moreover, I also want to say that there is need for urgent and effective prevention measures. Let us create programs. Let us map out programs that we tend to prevent abuse in schools and in our communities. Parents should teach children basic skills to fight sexual aggressors. Children do not know how to. Maybe you should teach your children. If you see a teacher is molesting you sexually, or whoever, you should teach them how to, attempt to, escape from such sexual predators, so that they can be about the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. We state that state parties shall take all appropriate legislative, administrative, social, and educational measures to protect the child from all forms of physical and mental violence, injury, or abuse, neglect, negligence, negligent treatment, maltreatment, or exploitation, including sexual abuse, while in the care of parents, legal guardians, or any other person who has the care of the child. So all these are things that policies, government policies that should be put on board, domestication of our Child Rights Act. Nigerian Child Rights Act should be domesticated properly by states. Most states have domesticated, but many states have not domesticated the Child Rights Act. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child should be domesticated. People should study it. States parties should study it and do accordingly to protect the child. And moreover, I also want to add that while we are doing, we should try and involve children in programs. Speak out for them. Let us not always continue to speak for them. Let them say what they feel in their hearts. You understand? And let us stop abusing children. It is always said that if we don't do anything for children, we should respect children, if not for who they are, for what they are likely to become. Because that child you are maltreating, one day it may be that his destiny or destiny is to become a big time technologist. He may be you know, an entrepreneur, a big time entrepreneur, a governor, a president, or anything. But by the time you start maltreating, you don't send children to school, you make them, anything you do to a child, even if it's 1 year old, it's registered in their heart. If you don't know, it registers in their mentality. Children are personalities right from that 1 year old. If you are treating them well, they know. It's just that they can't things. They already, as they grow up and begin to speak, that emotion comes out of them, and it helps them to grow as individuals. It shapes their identity as human beings. So please, those are some of the points I want to, you know, put in this into this your program. And also support projects that catalyze change, such as drama, dance, music, storytelling, and dialogue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate you for representing the Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Also, we await the representatives.
Yes.
Can you please mute yourself back, man? Also, we await the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Lagos State.
Hello.
While we await the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Lagos State, let me welcome Ajia Miriam Salvan for our presentation. Ajia Miriam Salvan, please let's make it short and fast. Thank you very much.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. It's been amazing, you know, listening to, you know, amazing. Can you all hear me, please? Hello.
We can hear you loud and clear. You can go ahead, please.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a great privilege, you know, being here, having to participate in this discussion. It's been amazing listening from, you know, hearing from Mrs. Z.O. Ibrahim, the FMIC, that's the representative of the Minister of Information and a host of others. And also let me use this opportunity to really appreciate the Muslim Youth, you know, forum or something for organizing this discussion. It's really an amazing one. And I must confess that I really appreciate the fact that we have kids here, just like the representative of the, you know, Federal Minister of Information has said. We have to let them participate and, you know, speak for themselves sometimes. And that is what this forum has largely been able to achieve. And I really appreciate this. It's an amazing feat, trust me. So in this regard, I would actually be focusing more on the kids. I believe most of the adults here, they know what it means to say child abuse, child maltreatment, and all of these things, child bullying and all of these things. But the kids in particular, I hope you're all with me. Can I see you wave your hands if you can hear me? Can I see you wave your hands, kids? Kids, can I see you wave your hands? I can see you all staring at the screen. Can I see you wave your hands? No, just wave your hands there. You don't have to type it in the chat room or something. Just, oh, all right, perfect. Mashallah, mashallah, that's great. That's great. I'm really happy to see this. So I want to tell you something. You know, you have all these amazing teachers and mentors and scholars you look up to, you know, those people that when they speak, you pay rapt attention to them. Could be your teachers, could be your parents, could be some ustads in your madrasa. You have all of these people and you aspire to be like them, right? So now I want you to know this, whatever you're doing on the net today, regardless of your age, because I know most of you actually you know, you have opportunity to carry telephones, that is gadgets, you know, this digital stuff, the tab, the phones, the computer, and all of these things, even television. And you have access to these things, you can operate them. Some of you even beyond the way your parents could utilize them. Now, I want you to know this. Whatever you do today, the internet never forgets. Whatever you post on the net, whatever activity you're doing on the net is stored in there. And if you look at yourself like that person you're aiming or aspiring to become, like your teacher, like your muallim in the madrasa, like your, a scholar, even like your parents, you should ask yourself that by the time I grow up to be like this person, can I look back at my activities on the net and be proud of myself? Can I do that? So you should always remember that. Put that in mind for any of your activity that you want to do on the net today. Always remember that. Now, what I'm asked to talk about is, online child abuse. We've heard a lot from some of our speakers about what child abuse is all about, the physical world, most importantly. And kudos to Ajia Saida Debayo or something. I caught a lecture and it was pretty amazing, well detailed and all that, especially the one about the cyberbullying, that is the bullying generally. And I think she mentioned something about cyberbullying, if I'm right. So I think child abuse, we have cyberbullying is also part of child abuse, especially any that involves children. So for online child abuse, it is just an aspect of child abuse because of the age we are in now, that is the digital age. So child abuse has been taken beyond the shores of just happening physically now to even happening online. So this is where parents, teachers, guardians, and people that are caregivers, children caregivers are meant to come in from to kind of moderate what the activities of children online, to ensure that they are not being abused or molested online, that they are not being bullied online. So child abuse basically is any form of maltreatment. Yes, we know that. It could be psychological, it could be physical, it could be sexual. All of these forms, psychological, physical, sexual, amongst others, actually they exist in online child abuse also. Online child abuse is almost the same thing as the offline child abuse. The only difference now is that there is no physical, that is no direct contact, direct physical contact of the child that is a victim and the perpetrator in question. So, however, teachers, caregivers, parents, they have to take online child abuse with the same, firmness. It's not to be taken with levity. They have to take it with the same kind of way they would take a physical child abuse, because that online child abuse has a much more, it has a much more effects, but negative effects on a child beyond even the physical one. It goes on to actually interfere with a child's mentality, with a child's physical makeup or setup, to the extent that the child might not heal from it up until old age or something. So that is why teachers, caregivers, parents, guardians, they have to ensure that they take note of all of the activities the children are engaging in online. Fine, kids are now being engaged, they're now being exposed to this online world the more. That is the using of digital tools because of the present state, global state, that's a pandemic. So we have students, children now, they are being exposed to, okay, they have to take classes online, they have to do their courses, and they have to do assignments, they have to make use of the phone to search for stuff. And a lot of them also now have class group chats. A lot of them have, they have to visit some known sites just so they could get materials or resources for their assignments or for their courseworks. And in the process, they have been exposed to the negative aspect of the online world. So that is why this is what I will keep mentioning, because the truth is, just like the just like the representative of the Federal Minister of Information has said, the truth is that we have to have this coordinated preventive measure in place. It is very, very important. We don't have to wait until these things start happening or until it becomes, something that we can hardly handle or provide lasting solution to. We have to start trying as much as we can to prevent these things from happening. Just like I'm aware that on YouTube, for instance, there are some sites I open, like there is this thing called YouTube Kids. I opened some for my kids, and I am aware that you can actually set up something like that would show that there is a parental control sort of. There is a feature on it where a parent can control what the child sees and can see what the child is watching. That's one. Number two, don't let them be far away from you. You give them a gadget. Oh, you want to have your assignment? Okay, take it. And then you go about your own daily activity. Then you leave the child all alone to the gadgets. Just like the Ajia Saidat has said, the one who talked about the bullying, just like she has said, fine, you cannot keep policing them that, oh, you want to see every details of what they are doing. But even at your distance, make sure that you are observing. This is directed, as I am aware, as we have kids here, I'm aware we have teachers, we have parents, we have caregivers and guidance here. So this is to ensure that regardless of the safe distance we're trying to keep, just so these kids do not appear like they do not feel choked by us or by our protectiveness, we observe everything they're doing. And we should have, we should create boundaries for them. Islam, for instance, is a religion that places, a premium on moderation. So we should create this moderation. We should create this boundary. This is the limit you can allow them to do. They should have a screen time. That this is how much time you can spend on a gadget in a day. It can be tough. Trust me, I have 2 little ones, and a lot of the time they're dependent on, they just want to watch whatever it is, they want to do this, they want to do that on phones and tablets and even on the computer. But what I try to do is, all right, I know that you want to spend this time, and it would also give me some time alone to be able to work, to be able to do some other things I have to do at home. But I know that, okay, if it is left to them, they will prefer to watch cartoons all through or play games. How about you introduce some educative stuff to them? How about you introduce some, activities, brain teasers, intelligent games to them? So these are things that the truth is we cannot shy away from the fact that kids would continue using, they'll continue being exposed to these things. But how do we prevent them from being exposed to the other side? That is to the negative aspect of this media of the digital world. It is by ensuring that we observe all they're doing, even at a distance. It is by ensuring that we prevent them from being prey to predators out there, because there are lots of predators out there, online predators, ready to pounce on unsuspecting kids. So, like I said, online child abuse is equally as the offline one, but this time around, the effect, that is the negative impact, it runs deeper because it comes from within, from inside their mentality, and it creates lasting psychological defects in them. So, like cyberbullying, yes, the other sister, Maja said that or something. I hope I got that right. She has said, she has talked extensively on the cyberbullying because it's actually one of the big forms of online child abuse these days. You see people targeting a kind of abuse or something at specific age groups, and then we have people just reaching out. People before, sometimes these kids are unsuspecting, they're trusting, they are innocent, they don't even know what they're getting into. And that is why, dear children, I am telling you now that all your activities on the net, you should be cognizant. You should know what you're doing on the net. You should know what you're doing with that phone in your hand. You should know who you are chatting with. You should know who is trying to chat with you. And once you suspect anything at all from a stranger or even a known person, because these things they're not limited to strangers. Even an uncle finding a 12-year-old girl on Facebook or on social media or on net can start abusing the child. Yes, you start hearing, oh, you have grown so, oh my God, you've grown so beautiful. As in, uncle, nah. So yeah, so just stand up, let me see you. You have grown, go. So, dear children, be careful. Do you understand me? You all should be careful. Be careful of all your activities on the net. Once you start suspecting something, inform your parents, inform your teachers, inform whoever you're staying with. And also caregivers should create, caregivers, parents, teachers, they should create an enabling environment. They should create an environment where, oh, okay, I'm going to round up now. Yeah, so they should create an environment where kids are there, they choose them as their first and best friends. So when you have such an environment, you realize that these kids come to you for their every fears and uncertainties of what they're facing out there. I hope you understand. The teachers here, the parents, the caregivers, everyone, they should try to create a kind of environment, a kind of trust relationship with the kids in their charge, so that the kids would see them first and most importantly as their best friend and first friend. It is very important. I cannot overemphasize this. It is very, very important. That is the only way whereby when a child starts suspecting something or starts, feeling uncomfortable with a discussion with somebody online, we'll be able to tell you that, oh, hey, auntie, something, or mommy, look at, I saw this, or someone showed me this, or someone did this. Even things that can be as small as somebody just sending you a normal picture of theirs in their full attire, or even you sending someone a normal picture of yours in your full attire. Trust me, it starts from there. Before you know it, you hear, hey. So, okay, so let us see about that. So basically, I think I would not like to take up much of our time looking at the fact that we are fast spending time already. But most importantly, I hope the teachers here, we've been able to get one or two things, and the children especially, please, dear children, ensure, don't forget what I said, the internet never forgets. So every of your activity online should be measured. You should be careful with anything or anyone you're chatting with anything you're putting up out there, or anything someone is posting to you. And have a friend in your mother, have a friend in your teacher. You understand? So you can easily go to them to tell them, mommy, someone said this. It may sound harmless sometimes, but it's actually pregnant with a lot of meanings. This online form of abuse is the most subtle of its form. You would not know until sometimes you might be far gone into it before you get to know that, oh, this person is actually exploiting this child. So we should be careful, because some of these kids can end up, like I said, is the one that is most messed up of it all, because it will cause the kids a lot of damage psychologically. And in the process, you see these kids growing up into depressed fellows. They grow up into sad, persons. They grow up into someone with suicidal thoughts, So we have to be very, very careful. We have to not take it with levity. The same way we take the physical child abuse, the same way we're trying to prevent it, the same way we are working against it, the same way we are creating awareness against physical child abuse, is the same way we should create all this awareness. We should guard against the online child abuse. So dear children, it's been amazing, seeing you all, and I hope that you've been able to pick one or two things from this discourse. I hope you've been able to do that. Can I see you wave your hands if you have gotten something? Can I see you wave your hands? Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Appreciate. Salam alaikum. I can see you all.
Thank you very much, Haja Mariam Sauban. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate that. Also, let me welcome the representatives. Okay, yes, they didn't raise up their hand, but I know I'm still expecting some representatives. Do we have Barrister Gonia Aliu in house? Barrister Gonia Aliu, please kindly raise up your hand if you are in the panelist list. At this point, I would have to end the event in the next 5 minutes if we don't get those representatives come online. I want to appreciate the representatives of the, okay, we are going to have a video. Please, can you share the video? The video was sent in by the Honorable Minister for State for Science and Tech. He apologized that he couldn't join us, but he had done a video specifically for this event. So truly he's here with us in mind, though he cannot participate right now. Please, we are trying to share the video while I try to round up. Also, I want to apologize to all kids and uncles who were trained for weeks, morning and evening classes, and eventually could not come up because of the challenges we had today, which were technical. However, we are going to have them up on other events and also have them on our live program online. So please, we are going to be, you'll be hearing the video of the Honorable Minister of Science and Tech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. All praises and thanks be to Allah. A special gift to us, and we are enjoying to cherish and care for them by providing good parenting, quality education, and moral upbringing. The future can only be secured if the rights of all children are guaranteed, as they are, potentially our leaders for tomorrow. So let's treat children well and be kind to them. Let's show them good examples. Let's show them what humanity is all about, and let's show them what respect for elders is all about. Let's remember, we shall all account for our actions before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one day or on the day of judgment. I refer us to Surah 99, Zalzala, verses 7 and 8, that states that, so whoever does an atom's of weight of goodwill will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will equally see it. So I urge all of us to be good ambassadors, our children, and to be good examples to our children for the sake of humanity, for the sake of our future, and for the sake of generations yet unborn. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that video. Thank you very much for that video.
We really appreciate that. I don't know why the lines are going on the screen. And I think that is a function from Zoom.
Enjoy to cherish while in good.
So we'll be coming first now. So permit me.
Islamic view on child abuse. Child abuse happens when someone caring for a child hurts a child's feeling or body. It can happen to boys or girls in any family. Often hurt feelings or emotional trauma last long after a hurt body has healed. Has good teachings on moral values that its followers must reflect. Religion gives spiritual values to people's activities, including sex acts related to child rearing. In accordance with this issue, Ali bin Abi Talib, one of the companions of the Prophet, said, and I quote, "Teach your children things you did not learn when you were their age, for they have been created for a time that is different from your time." Islam also warns parents about their obligation to ensure the optimal development of their children. Parents should prepare their children to be a solution for future problems rather than being part of them. I therefore like to use this opportunity to call on parents to take special care of their children to ensure that they are not abused in any form and by anybody. It is the duty of parents to also teach their children on how to protect themselves from any form of abuse.
Thank you very much for those videos. I really appreciate everyone. I want to personally appreciate 11 kids who for the past 1 week have been training to anchor this event. However, we were able to have some of them online, but because of technical issues, we could not get them. We could not get others. Let me start by appreciating Aisha Buhari, Asia Buhari from Oshodi Zone, Abdurrahman Sulaiman from Akoka Zone, Aisha Yunus from Remo Zone, Sekina Muhyiddin from Ibadan Zone, Umu Kuntum Abdulaziz from Etiosa Zone, Adedi Mohammed from Egba Zone, Rohima Taiwo from Igodo Kotu Zone, Fadlullah Oluwafemi Yusuf from Remo Zone, Musbao Okweyemi Said from Ogbomoso Zone, and Isa Abdul Samad from Nsongo Zone. Also, I want to appreciate the persons of Ambassador Musliuddin Owolawa, the National Coordinator of TYMA, the Young Muslim Association Nigeria, Alhaji Abdulaziz Ajala, the immediate past National Coordinator of the Young Muslim Association of Nigeria, Alaja Goni also do us a video on sexual abuse and child rights acts. So please stay tuned to our video from Alaja Goni Aliu. Also, Alaji Sulaiman Ogumuyiwa, a counselor who was also in earlier in the day, also had to attend to another event. We also want to especially appreciate Honorable Mrs. Pauline Tallinn, the Honorable Minister for Women Affairs, here represented, Honorable Mr. Maigari Gangiadi, the Honorable Minister for Police Affairs, Honorable Minister Abdulhamid Mohammed, the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology. Also, we want to recognize the Honorable Minister of Information and Communication and Culture, Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. We want to also appreciate the Honorable Commissioner for Wealth Creation, Lagos State, Honorable Arobieke, the Honorable Commissioner for I also want to appreciate the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Lagos State, in person of Honorable Lola Akode. I want to appreciate our speakers, Alaja Gonia Aliu, Aja Saida Adetayo, Aja Rashida Okwere, Aja Mariam Sauban. I remain my humble self, Aminu Lukman Eniton, the chairman organizing committee of this great event. I want to appreciate everybody, the participants, both those on Zoom and those on YouTube. We appreciate you very much. Please stay tuned. You can send your questions to our mail. We'll put our mail in the chat box. So please check your chat box, send all your questions to our mail. I want to guarantee us that our discussants will respond to our questions. So please, also like our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, our Instagram channel, our Twitter channel. All is at TYMA Nigeria, TYMA-NIG. Please check. We'll upload the videos in other channels where you didn't get them earlier. And also, all our questions will be responded to there. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Nigeria will be great. We are going to end the menace of child abuse in Nigeria and in the globe as a whole. Thank you very much. Stop child abuse, stop rape, stop child trafficking. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
TYMA Faith and Guidance.
Now we end now.